91, tight slider. He's considered a strike thrower. He did not pitch in last year's Missouri Valley Conference tournament because the Shockers were out in 2 games. So this is his first taste of the postseason tournament. We'll see how he does here. And he's got about 3 or 4 miles an hour faster on his fastball this year than he had a year ago.
Federico Castanini stands in 2 for 4, scored 2 of the 3 runs in the loss for the Jays yesterday. Here's a young man, a junior college transfer that played at Barton Community College. Actually grew up in Italy. And this young man moved from Italy to the States and played 2 years of high school baseball. And had so much success that he wound up playing in Barton Community College, and the coach at Barton gave Ed Service a call and said, hey, I think I got a guy that can play for you. And he strokes one down the left field line, and we have our first base runner this afternoon, and is a stand-up double for the Federico Castanini, bottom half of the first inning. Swing and a miss, and the runners are going, and they get the strike them out, throw them out, double play, and so the Jays get out of a jam. However, the Shockers put 3 on the board in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. We played 1. Wichita leads it 3-0. That's more than anything else. It upset me this morning, Kurt. Green lifts this one, and it's a soft pop-up over to third base. And Castanini handles it there. 2 up, 2 down, and the Shockers not showing much of a fight here in the 2nd inning as Elman's kind of settled as our MVC Scholar Athlete of the game. And his teammate, Federico Castanini, will lead things off in the 3rd for the Jays.
When you think about Creighton picked at the beginning of the year, Scott, to be 7th in the preseason poll and to be the number 3 seed, and Wichita State picked 2nd, finished 2nd. The two and the 3 seed, people imagine that this would maybe be a game 2 matchup in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. They did not expect it to be an elimination game, however.
Well, a lot of moving parts. And again, Creighton wins the Valley tournament last year as the 8th seed. But you had a lot of moving parts throughout the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference. The first one, the preseason favorites, the Missouri State Bears, just struggled offensively especially during the Valley season. And it's really been their pitching and defense that's held them up. And a lot of people thought with Petrie and company that they may win the conference. They did. It was Illinois State who I think really kind of surprised a lot of people. But Coach Kingston had a fantastic year, as you know, here in Central Illinois. But again, when you just look at the tournament just last year, you have an 8th seed win, and again, anybody can win this tournament, even though you might have Illinois State the slight favorite because not only they won regular season, they have good pitching, but they're also playing right in their own backyard. But again, it's one of those things, and I think a lot of people thought with Sean Mania that Indiana State figured into favorably into this regular season and still in the tournament. But when you have a guy like Mania down, that's huge for any team. And I know Baseball America just had him as the number 10 prospect right before the draft gets underway next June. Now with his hip and potential shoulder problems, you know, how much is that unfortunately going to hurt for that young man?
And he's a real wild card because, you know, he came out to warm up. He was the day 1 starter yesterday and never threw a pitch in the game. He just warmed up and didn't like the way it felt and walked off the mound. So, you know, what's his status for the rest of the tournament, too?
Castanini lifts this one into right field. 1 up, 1 down as we get the 3rd inning started here in Central Illinois.
I mean, people talked about how open this tournament was. The younger brother of Connor Gillespie, the former Wichita State star playing with the White Sox now in the major leagues.
Boy, rips this one down the left field line. He's going to round first, head into second with the stand-up double. So we got a 1-out rally going here for the Shockers in the bottom half of the 3rd.
3rd extra base hit for the Wichita State offense. And so Coy, who follows up his 1st inning single with a double here, right down the line in left. And just as we were saying
that home run, I just really didn't think that had a shot. Muka will try to sacrifice Coy over, and he's going to sacrifice himself on.
Now that was
a surprise, I think, on Creighton defensively.
There's no doubt about that. What a great bunt laid down by Muka. He saw where the 3rd baseman Castanini was playing, and he said, you know what, if I can get a bunt down here, I'm going to be able to bunt for a hit. the Shockers are not a sacrifice bunt team
No.
like the great Blue Jays are.
Right. And that's uncharacteristic, as well as Creighton plays on the defensive side of things. That's just a perfectly placed bunt.
Absolutely textbook.
0-4 from Duffy Bass. And swinging on the second pitch is Dane Parker, the shortstop. And he's put away 5-3 to begin things here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And Federico Castanini, the Italian, will stand in.
Federico Castanini.
Pretty neat story that we told you earlier about the young man who came over by himself, didn't even have the family come over when he came over to Italy, and 2 years of high school baseball, and has joined the Creighton program after 2 years in junior college baseball. And in fact, the folks at Creighton were telling me that as soon as the baseball season ends, Federico's going back home to Italy to spend some time with his family.
I think it just goes to show you that, you know, when that's your dream, you're going to chase it. And if it means coming across the ocean and unfortunately leaving your loved ones behind to pursue your education and your dream, you're going to do it. Hats off to him.
Well, apparently Mr. and Mrs. Castanini has actually made it over to the States a couple of times this season to watch their son play baseball.
Come on now, gonna win. Come on, man.
I'm sure diamonds who play baseball in Italy aren't at every street corner like they are here in the States.
Yeah.
Probably have to look a little bit to watch the baseball. The game has grown worldwide, but
No question.
still, especially in Europe, probably not to the extent that we've had here in the States, and Federico's out looking.
It's all about who's at the plate right now.
Coy swinging, rounder to third, and Castanini handles it, and the Jays finally get out of it. But the Shockers scored 2 more. This one, another elimination game, as it will be the Evansville Purple Aces, who blew a terrific pitching performance by Kyle Lloyd as they gave up 2 runs in the bottom half of the 9th inning against Missouri State to drop the 1 against the Bears. They will take on the 8th seed Bradley Braves, and estimated start time right around 3:02. We're hoping and expecting here from Duffy Bass Field. Again, earlier we had a 2.5-hour rain delay before we got this first game underway. And Castanini rips that one foul.
It's like a completely different day. This morning, overcast, cloudy the whole way. No
It was,
sun.
you know.
Sun is out. Nice warm breeze out of the south. And we mentioned it's really been a hitter's night.
And he hasn't been able to advance at all with the next 2 batters with 2 away. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, just missed outside. And Ladwig kind of had a long look at Brett Brewington, the home plate umpire, on that call. Brewington's been very consistent, however, with his balls and strikes calls here this afternoon. And holding up there is Castanini.
Ladwig tried to get him fishing on that ball low into the dirt. Castanini showed some restraint there, so he's worked the count to full now after being down 1-2.
Murphy takes his lead from second. Here comes the 3-2. Grounded to third. Harbitz has to make a quick throw, and he does.